Welcome, everyone, to the XPulZ Talk Show. Today is a very special day. It is Mother's Day. So call your mother and let her know that you love her or that you at least appreciate her. Today, it is it is my absolute pleasure to introduce someone many of us have watched stream or watched dominate in tournaments of a variety of different games. You may know him as Scoom, Ralph, Pedro Saltana, Scoomian. But today, we know him as my guest. Let's learn a little bit more about the man, the myth, the legend that is Scoom. And we would like to bring him on right now. Scoom, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. This is very exciting for us. You are like first of all, you're like Mr. SOTF. I think we all watch you do so much. It seems like every game that comes out, you're invited to play in tournaments. You're very well known. You're like one of the cool kids of Twitch, really. So thank you for joining us today.
It's my pleasure.
So let's get into like the very basic questions. We'll call this level 1 questions because they're super easy, like jumping on some Goombas, stuff like that. So what is your real name? I mean, you go through so many different names; it's hard to keep up. You're kind of like the Puff Daddy of Twitch, I think.
My real name is Karen Scoom Prescott. That's my actual full name, I guess. Scoom.
Your middle name is Scoom.
No, it's not. It's not Scoom, but it is.
Maybe officially.
Yeah, I have to make it officially.
Yeah. I think you should. I think. Yeah. I mean, wait. So everyone calls you that. Why do they call you that? Where did that start?
Scoom.
Yeah.
It's kind of a long story, but basically, when I was younger, I used to have quite a big head compared to my body. It was the size of my head was relatively big, and my cousins, my brother used to make fun of me because I had a big head. And basically, we went to a holiday in the United States, to Orlando, Florida, where there's theme parks and stuff with my cousins, with my whole family. And I was around, I can't remember how old I was. I was probably 8, 9 years old. It was 2000, I think, roughly that year. But yeah, we went to watch a show of the Terminator, and we were young kids. We always try to make nicknames of each other. So my brother was I'm the whatever. He had a nickname, and I just came up randomly with Scoom. At the top of my head, I just said Scoom. That's a pretty cool name. And at the beginning, it started as an insult. As soon as I said Scoom, my brother, my cousins were like, "Oh, Scoom means big head." They were just teasing me with it. So at the first stages of Scoom, it was basically an insult. It was basically insulting the size of my head. But after a while, it basically died out for 1 or 2 years. And then when I was around 12 years old or something like that, it just, I don't know how it popped up again. And all my friends at school started calling me Scoom, my brother again, my cousins. But I didn't have a big head at that time, so I didn't really care. So
you kind of grew into your big head?
I grew into it. So I don't know, just everyone started calling me Scoom. And
change the narrative. That's how you do it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. And everyone's just been calling me Scoom ever since, pretty much. I never introduced myself as Karen anymore. Well, I do officially, but everyone just says, "Oh, that's Scoom," and that's how it goes. Yeah.
When you're going on a date for the first time with a woman, you're like, "Hi, I'm Scoom."
Yeah, pretty much.
And then you're like, "Do you like the size of my head? Do you think it's proportionate?" Good. So where are you from? You went on vacation. You said you went to a vacation or holiday in the United States. Where are you from?
I'm from Gibraltar, south of Spain, British colony outside the European Union. That's what we say in my stream, yeah.
A British colony. God, how much do we hate the British?
Mm-mm.
It's they went around and called dibs. I'm from America. I live right outside Washington, D.C.
Okay.
But hey, this is my show. You can have your own talk show if you want to interview me. All right, buddy. No, I didn't know I have to get forceful with Scoom over here, but I guess I should know considering you're a very top first-person shooter player. So what got you into gaming? Did your brother and then your cousins play? I don't know how close you are to them.
Yeah, pretty much. It was, I think, like my brother that got into PC games. Like we had like one PC between me, my brother, and my dad. I can't remember what the first game that I ever played. I think it might have been like Red Alert. I think one of the Red Alerts.
Yeah, Command and Conquer.
Yeah, I
Red
think
Alert.
so.
Yeah,
those were the first games that we played on the PC. That and then like Warcraft 3. But the first like FPS like shooter, I think it was Call of Duty 1 that we ever played. That was the one that actually got me hooked. Like Red Alert and stuff like that, we're just playing for funsies. But once like Call of Duty 1 came out, I think it was like end of 2003 or early 2004. That's what I instantly got hooked. I was in love.
I feel like you're kind of like a Tanya from Red Alert. You send you in with the double guns, right? And you just like blow up stuff all on your own. I used to send Tanyas in like the back door, even of like allies bases. So when we play 4v4 and we'd like be winning, we about to be a win, then I blow up all my allies bases, so I would be the only one left standing. Yeah. Long story short, don't play like team games with me.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so we got you into gaming. You know, you played Call of Duty. Is your brother? I mean, how many brothers do you have?
I have one. He's older than me. He's 2 years older than me. Yeah.
He's older than you. Oh, so him calling you Scoom, I'm sure. How much do we hate older brothers? I mean, I am one, so like I understand. But is he still big into gaming, or is he still game a lot?
He games sometimes, and like he's a gamer like myself, but he's like he's busy with real life and stuff. But he plays like World of Warcraft. He's like really into that and like Overwatch and stuff. He doesn't play that often, maybe like once a week or something like that. He's just like a casual. He's a casual gamer. Yeah.
You ever had him on streaming with you, like playing games?
No, I have not yet. Maybe in the future.
I feel like that'd be a lot of fun, you know, for like a family stream day.
Yeah, I mean, my dad plays all day Counter-Strike.
Really?
And my stream hears him. He like rages. He's raging 24/7. Cheaters, this hackers. You know, he's that guy.
He's probably raging at me right now, huh? Ask better questions. You're making my son not look so great. All right. So speaking of streaming, let's go to level 2. Level 2 questions all about streaming here, right? Mm-hmm. What made you get into streamer? Who's some of your idols? I hear the name Shrooms a lot. I was actually one of my sources told me that I should contact Shrooms, and this is what Shrooms had to say. He said, "Please stop contacting me. I don't want to have to block you on Twitter, and that's the last time I'm going to respond to your messages." So we didn't really get much from him. And I'm kind of upset at Tia for telling me I should talk to Shrooms, because that really hurt my self-esteem. But so who's some of your mentors? Who made you, or who did you watch streaming and being like, that's awesome, I like that. Like, how do I get into this? Like, I want to do this.
Pretty much Lyric. I mean, I think Lyric was probably what a lot of people's like streamers like they looked up to. But yeah, Lyric was. I mean, I can go back to when I started watching streams. Like, I used to play League of Legends quite a bit, and I started watching the days of Own TV, and that's when I started like actually watching streams. I've never like seen streams before, and there was like all of these League of Legends pro, like Hotshot GG and those guys. But once like Own TV went down, then people were just starting to go over to Twitch, and Twitch started getting bigger. And basically, Lyric was like the first Twitch streamer I actually watched. He was the one, and he was doing like a lot of roleplay back then when I started watching him, and I started roleplaying myself. That's what got me into like the whole streaming and Twitch thing.
I did see a picture on your Twitter feed, I think, of Hulk in Ark. You made a Hulk character. You tweeted out a picture of him. Is that how you started with Ark? You did roleplay?
Yeah, pretty much. I started as a role player streamer. I didn't start like as a competitive player or anything like that. I was back in Reign of Kings. Was the first time I've ever streamed. Like my first ever stream was Reign of Kings, which was like a medieval survival game. And I joined the role playing server that all these Twitch streamers were in. I got referred because I used to role play, and I got referred by another streamer. I wasn't streaming back then, but I just got into the server, and that's how it all started. Pretty much, a lot of people started. That's how Ralph started as well. The character Ralph. That I made. He started.
Oh, so that's like your reoccurring character.
Yeah, Ralph was the origin of Ralph was in Reign of Kings. Yeah.
Wait, is that one picture I see like posted all the time when I went all the way back in your
The
picture?
face, the brown face with big eyes and stuff. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
Ralph
yeah,
character. Yeah, skin like fat guy, skinny legs with an ugly face, big ears. That was
yeah,
Ralph. Yeah.
yeah. I thought like it's kind of like my body build actually. Very. I have my winter weight face. So you started role playing, and streaming. I mean, that kind of makes sense. I've watched your streams a few times, and you'll have wigs on, you'll sing. You're very much like a character. Like, so if you look at different streamers, I feel like there's a bunch of different categories of them. I feel like you're kind of like more like like an SNL type like character or like cast member where you put it in. You're very versatile. Stuff like that. Has that always been like that? Have you always wanted to do a variety stream? It's almost like you're doing a variety show to a degree.
Yes and no. Like I really, because when I was younger, I really enjoyed like putting on costumes, like like the Power Rangers or Superman, Spider-Man. Like, as a kid, I've always loved doing that. When I was really young, but like during my teenagers, I was actually like a shy kid and stuff like that. I never did anything else apart from that. But when I started streaming, like yeah, it just like grew into me. I like doing silly stuff, and I feel like streaming is sometimes you can do that. I haven't been doing it too often though. Like I did it like once in like doing a H1C1 stream and stuff like that. But I want to do it more in the future for sure. It's a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, I feel like lately you've been more super serious.
Yeah.
Super serious.
I have different moods. I have like the try hard, competitive, serious mood, and then sometimes I just want to role play, have fun, and sometimes I just want to do some silly stuff. Right now I'm in that like competitive time.
Yeah, I can tell. You actually killed me in Battlegrounds during a solo match since you play on ANA, I play on NA. You killed me like a month ago or something. And I was like fucking serious Scoom. Goddamn it. So speaking of like the role playing, does that go into the name changes? I feel like you do name changes like people do wardrobe changes during like a concert. Like what is with this? Did you do something illegal like so that they can't pin you down? Like we're looking for Ralph, and the next thing you know, you're Pedro Sultana, and then you're Scoom. Like what's it gonna be next month? Like
yeah, I mean, like when I started, when I joined Twitch or like started watching like streamers and stuff like that, I was role playing as back in Alma as Pedro Sultana. It was like a Mexican character that I made. So when I made my first Twitch account, I was role playing. I was Pedro Sultana. I don't know why I made Pedro Sultana. And I started that way, but I didn't have plans to stream at all. Like I didn't like, oh, I'm gonna stream under Pedro Sultana. It came about that. So when I got asked by my friends to like start streaming Reign of Kings and stuff, I already had that Twitch account, and I didn't think of making a new one because I didn't think I thought it was just gonna be like stream for friends and just have fun and stuff. I didn't think that I would grow or people would watch me. So it was kind of a mistake that I started with that account because it's just a role playing name and it had no meaning to me except for just an RP character. So once I started growing as a streamer from Reign of Kings to Arc, and then Ralph came up, like Ralph became popular, so now I'm Pedro Sultana, I'm Ralph, and yeah, I got partnered and stuff like that. And just as a business side of it, like to promote myself, market myself, and introduce myself, I was Pedro Sultana, I was Ralph, I'm Karen, I'm Scoom. It was kind of confusing to pretty much promote myself. As Pedro Sultana. So I asked Twitch, but back then you couldn't change your names. This was like a recent thing that Twitch added. I mean, unless you had like a specific like bad name that they let you change. So they added this recently, and I was thinking about it, and it's like, I think this is a perfect time. Arc, I'm not streaming Arc anymore. I'm transitioning to more like Battle Royale. New to that like scene, like people don't know me. So I thought it was like the perfect time for me to switch to an actual nickname that I can introduce myself. I
always thought Pedro Sultana was kind of like like in the 90s where they had like the twin or like the Bizarro character, and it would come on with like a goatee, and then you could tell it was like the bad one, or like or like Steve Urkel when he was like super cool. I always thought Pedro Sultana was like your alter ego, and you streamed sometimes as him and sometimes as Rob. That's what I thought at first. Yeah, I was like,
a lot of people thought it was like my real name, for example, as well. So.
Well, yeah, it's a first and last name. Most people don't have that, so I can understand. So okay, so moving on. So you have streaming, and it seems I went back in your Twitter feed, which it hasn't been for a very long time, and it seems like you've been streaming for a couple of years.
2 years now, yeah.
2 years.
2 years. Yeah.
how has or what experience have come about or situations come out for streaming that you would never have seen before? I mean, we all know that, you've flown to a few different places for tournaments, stuff like that. You go to, conventions. What have been some of the best experiences that you've had because of that?
Yeah, pretty much those two things. Like, if I wasn't streaming, wouldn't have met so many awesome people. Like, the Twitch community and the streamers and like the viewers are, like, for the most part, really awesome people. There's some like bad people, but that's everywhere. But like, if it wasn't for streaming, I would have met, like, for example, ScoomTV, which is another streamer, German streamer, which I consider a really good friend, and just a lot of people like I've met, like, have been really good friends. And if, like you said, traveling, like, I went to Gamescom in Cologne, that convention, and I've traveled before alone, but like I've never gone to a convention or anything like that. So I went to Gamescom, I went to TwitchCon, I met a lot of NA streamers over there, and yeah, one of my dreams when I was younger, I mean, when I started getting into gaming, was to be like a competitive player, like an esports player, and go to like LANs and stuff like that. So going to Shanghai, the SOTF like tournament in China, I got a glimpse of that, and that was a really cool experience for me. Even though we didn't perform well, it was a lot of fun, and I got to meet all the other players that I've been playing against and with in SOTF, and yeah, that's probably the number one. Like, out of all this streaming thing, the best thing was going to Shanghai and playing and meeting everyone.
So anybody I've had on here that have gone to Shanghai, we always talk about why they didn't do well, that they didn't do well. Froome gave me a few. From, or however you pronounce it, gave me a few answers about why he didn't do so well. Why didn't you guys do well?
Like, we didn't do well because of me. I'll be like straight up. Like, the reason we didn't perform that well or to the best of abilities, like, going in my opinion, we were the favorites. I would say we were the favorites. We were the best team going, like, leading up to that. Like, we had like an incredible record leading to like the qualification and stuff like that. I think we had like 97% win rate in like 100 games or something like that in like the 4-mans. We were like really well, like me, Vince, Decky, and Rezi. That was like our prime back in May 2016 when we were qualifying. But the reason I say it was my fault is because as soon as we qualified in May, I took a break. I got burnt out. I got burnt out on streaming Arc and like playing that. I didn't touch it for June, July. I was playing Arma. So I didn't play SOTF for these 2 months, and the rest of the guys were kind of playing, but they were not playing with me. So when the tournament actually like came about, like when we actually went, we hadn't really practiced together. Like, we already had like our strategies, but like we didn't really go through it. And then obviously Rezi dropped out. I mean, that's probably one of the main reasons as well. Like, we got a sub, which is Pengu, which was Decky's friend, and Pengu back then was a good player. But he just got into the scene. Like, he only played like a month straight, or something like that.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do when you've only played that little time.
Yeah, exactly. And he was really fucking good for a month. But we didn't practice together. We never played together. And that's as one of the team players of Kappa Pride, that was my fault for not going, guys, we got this we got this LAN tournament. We should practice together, And I didn't do that. Like, none of us did. We just, like, we thought we were just like going to be good and we're just going to, go over there and do our thing. But obviously not having Rezi, which Rezi, in my opinion, is one, if not one of the best players in the game. And he's like the guy that you just go tame, you come back and you see 50 forges, you got everything, and then you carry on as normal. He's that guy that you can just rely on. He does whatever he wants, and and we didn't have that.
That's what Tony said to me. I had a long conversation with TMC Pence, and he gave me the rundown on who people are, and he described you as the general. The team leader of it, because everyone specifically has their specific things. But he says that you were the strongest across the board if you're getting a grade, right? So there's like some people are strong here, some people are strong here, but you fill in the cracks, when things go wrong. And that you're basically the general of the team, that you're making decisions and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, I was like not really the shot caller. Like, that's Kappa Pride. We just work so well together. We all just gave our opinions, like me, Rezi, and Decky, our plans. And I'm just the one that like we give ideas, and I'm just like, we do this one. Like, everyone follows me. Like, I'm like the final call. But it's basically like everyone together. Like, that's how Kappa Pride was so good, because we were all on the same page, kind of thing.
Right.
If you know what I mean? Yeah.
Because you role played as Ralph as a team leader. He's a no nonsense kind of guy.
Yeah.
He says something and you go with it. What was I guess what was one of the most surprising things that you, I guess, through Wildcard, either the people you met through Wildcard or all the people that you met like at this SOTF tournaments? Like, what was one of the most surprising things that you noticed out of either the people that you met or who they were, or stuff like that? Because I feel like for me, I saw all these names like playing from when it came to standalone, because that's when I started playing.
Mm-hmm.
And to then see who these people are is very interesting to me. I mean, like having Fruman and Hannibal, I generally, in my head, I thought there were some probably big, huge dudes that just like would kick the shit out of me if I saw them in real life. But that turns out to not be the case.
Yeah.
So what was one of the most surprising things, or like, that you had, like, is Jet like super short? Is like Jen super tall? Is her hair not really that color in real life? She just photoshops it on the internet. Like, what is it?
No, it's. I think it's her real color. It was blue. Yeah, and Jet is awesome. Jet is probably one of the coolest guys I've met, to be honest. I mean, he's the community of Wildcard, and he's kind of short. But yeah, I don't know. No really surprises, like meeting people. Like I already knew how, for example, like my techie looked like Vince. All these other guys. We've already been playing together for such a long time. We already knew how we all looked. It wasn't like a surprise. I mean, some people were like surprised. For example, I mean, Wilson was one of them. I guess Wilson from Kitty Cats.
Yeah.
He's French, and I didn't expect him to have like long hair, because he had like long hair and glasses, and I
don't think anyone expected to have Wilson to have long hair,
Yeah, I think
he's kind of got that hair that he looks like should be on like a romance novel, like a Fabio type hair,
Yeah.
I think he should have like a fan off screen and is always just like flowing,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And wait, another one was what's his name again? TVA 04. He's really fucking tall. Like that was another shock. Like how. Like, you hear his voice, because I never seen a picture of him. I just heard his voice, like, on TeamSpeak and stuff. And then we saw him. That's TVA, and he looks like a basketball player. Like, he was this massive dude.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of like Benedict Cumberbatch. Like, I heard his voice for the first time, and then I found out he's, like, super tall. I was like, that doesn't match what you look like.
Yeah.
All right, so speaking of that, like, we have a few things, and you called me out earlier. Yes, I stole it from Hot Ones. But we're going to call it something different. Blast from the Past. I came up with a new name for it. So we have we'll go to level 3 here, where we have pictures and tweets that you have tweeted out from your past, and we kind of just want you to tell us a little bit about it here, because we found some interesting stuff. So the first one we have here, if we could. So it says, I just received Lyric's shirt. I don't do selfies, right? I found the I don't do selfies thing really funny, because I feel like outside of streaming, selfies seems to be one of the number one things you mostly do. What happened? When did that change? Did you get a concussion and then all of a sudden you do selfies? Like, what?
No, like I'm a pretty shy guy. I'm not gonna lie. I've always been, like, through my teenagers. Like when I was younger, I was not shy, but like when puberty shit hit and stuff, I guess when going to school, like, when
your body matched your head, is what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. I became a shy guy, like when my teenagers and stuff like that. So I'm not a type of guy, like, I was self-conscious. I'm not a type of guy to like take selfies or anything like that. I'm not. Never been like that. So yeah, that's, I guess, a selfie that I took when I bought one of the Lyric shirts. And,
has streaming made you less shy?
Yeah, it has, for sure. That's like,
I would hope so. I saw like one stream where you wear like a blonde wig or something, and you were singing like, I can't stand the rain. I don't know, like.
When I first started like streaming, well, before streaming, like I was really shy. I was like, oh, well, people are gonna think of me and stuff like that. And I'm still shy, like when you meet me in like real life, but I've definitely become like more confident. Like right now, I don't really care what people think about me. Like I'm, like it has, like in the past 2 years, my confidence and my real life is like grown. I've grown as a person for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it helps when you have like people fangirling on you. You're like, oh, I'm not as ugly as I think I am in the mirror every morning. Or at least that's what I tell myself. All right, so let's look at the second one. Because people don't really know anything that streamers do outside of it. Do you ski or do you snowboard?
I snowboard. Yeah, snowboard.
And is that you?
That is me. Yeah, there's a video as well. I actually showed it on stream like a couple of times of me of that. Yeah, that's I snowboard. Yeah, I mean, I started actually pretty late too. Like 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, I started snowboarding. So I kind of got it because I'm 25 now. So I kind of started late. I kind of wish I started way earlier because I love snowboarding. Like with snowboarding, like with gaming, snowboarding is like my other like hobby passion that I love.
Yeah, I have the same thing. I have 3 snowboards sitting right over here. I'm the same thing. I started when I was 12. It helps a lot when you start when you're younger. I mean, I ski and snowboard, but I haven't skied in like 10 years. I strictly just snowboard now.
Right. Yeah. It's just more free, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
I feel like skiing is like straightforward. Just go. Like snowboarding, you feel like you can do like more. I don't know, whatever.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing I love about snowboarding is like you just go to the top of the mountain and you just go down and you just like see the scenery and like just your mind like goes like whatever you're going through. For example, if you're sad or like you're thinking about something, like when you just snowboard down, like everything just disappears and you're just in the moment, like enjoying. And I don't know, that's like what do you call it? I don't know what the word is.
It's almost like euphoric to a degree. Like when you get into it, I feel like, especially you got snow, you kind of just like everything else just kind of like it goes by the wayside, so to speak.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Where was that, by the way?
That is in Sierra Nevada in Spain. It's like about 3 hours away from you. Yeah.
Oh, okay. If you could get snowboard anywhere else if you haven't been yet, where would it be?
Probably like Canada, I guess, or Austria. Like I would love to go snowboard. Yeah. I want to travel. Like Sierra Nevada, like Spain has been the only place, and it's not really that good of a ski resort. I really want to go. Like we actually had planned to go this year with like Moleman and some of the SOTF guys. We actually had planned to go snowboarding, but it just never went through because Moleman wasn't feeling too well. So like he was going. I don't know. He had something. So we didn't really plan. Yeah, blame Moleman, the Moleman cuss. But yeah. Hopefully next year. Like I actually haven't gone in 2 years since I started streaming. I haven't gone snowboarding because I've been so busy and like
You should get a petition going on change.org to have Gamescom in Whistler or like in Vancouver, so you can go to Whistler then.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Dude, Whistler is fantastic. Okay, so if we're going to the next tweet, we start to get into some of my favorite ones. So this is actually Scoom, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
This is where Scoom derived from.
Yeah, you can't really see it too well, but yeah, pretty much I have quite a big head. I mean, you can't really tell, but I mean, a bit older than that, it got worse. I think that was a bit too young for it to be too big, but yeah, that's the Scoom young days.
So you're saying that like in the next few years, your head ballooned?
Yeah, everything stayed the same, and the head became bigger, pretty much.
You had a growth spurt from the neck up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's probably one of my favorite pictures, to be honest. I don't know why. Like, I love the pictures. I don't know. Like, I'm saying I'm cute to my own self. Is that weird? But I feel like I'm really cute in that picture.
Yeah. I'm surprised, like, Strabi, like, and every woman in, like, Caddy and Momo and Tia are, like, just like, oh, heart in chat. You should make that your Twitter profile for a day just to see, like, all the fangirls that you get from it. So then you won't have to say it. People can just say it for you.
Yeah.
So is that your brother next to you?
Yeah, that's my brother. Yeah. Can't really see his face, but that's him. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see him smiling though, like he just called you Scoom or did something to you. I know that smile because I have that in like 60% of my pictures with my like younger brother and younger sister. So let's move on. Let's move on to the next one. This is I found this very interesting when going through it. Then I realized at what level that you and Shrooms, like your friendship level, I guess. Mm-hmm. Now, is this custom fit, or did you have to get measurements for this to get it hand knitted? I don't know, like how you go about this. Yeah,
that's because it says Peter because me and Shrooms like we have like a Kappa Pride thing going on, we're good friends and stuff. So. We role played in Ark in one of the servers, and we were like a Kappa Pride couple, right? We were like a gay couple, and we were role playing. His name was Peter in the game, mine was Ralph, and that's what we were role playing. And I just saw that. I think I can't remember how I saw that, but I saw that somewhere, and it says a heater for Peter or something like that, right? It's a heater for your Peter, yeah. I just found it funny because he was role-playing as Peter and like a willy warmer. I'm going to buy that for him.
Yeah,
I never ended up buying it. I
perfectly.
should have actually ended up buying it, but I never did.
You should. You should. Hey, you know what? Yeah. Better late than never is what I always say.
Next Christmas, I'll get it for him.
Next Christmas. Shrooms. Oh, great. Now he's here. Now he knows. Well, the secret's out, Shrooms. Look for it in the mail. Okay, so we have two more. We have two more here. So we have one with you, actually, with Jat.
Jat, yeah.
Have you ever seen Jat not wear a hat?
I mean, I think he like took up his cap once when I was there with him. I think just to show me that
it wasn't like.
I'm not gonna say anything. Maybe people don't know. Like this is a myth, you know. Maybe I can keep it a myth.
Like he was born with a hat. That's the rumor going around that he came out of his mother's womb with like a hat on, a flat bill.
Yeah, Jat is awesome. Really.
Where is this? Is this at the airport? It looks like it's at the airport.
This is a London airport. Yeah, right before I go to Shanghai because we needed to get our visa, like a visa to go to China, and it was so rushed. Like they planned it kind of a little bit too fast, and when we needed to get our visa, like for me in Gibraltar, I had to go to London to get my visa, either by mail, or go personally. So I ended up like if it was gonna be mail, it was gonna be too late because by the time I shipped the documents come back, it was gonna take too long. So what we did was Jad actually like I sent him my passport, all like my documents to him personally, and he went over to the embassy and he did the whole visa thing for me, and then we actually met at the airport. Like I was getting my flight for China. Like if he wasn't there, like I wouldn't have been able to go, you know. So like I actually went to the airport in London, like went outside, and then we met. He gave me the visa and stuff, and yeah.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like on your SOTF team to a degree. He's like he's like assistant, or he's like the water boy or something. Like he makes sure he's like team manager basically at that point if he's making sure that you go.
Jad, I mean, a lot of people give shit to like the wildcard guys, but I feel like they did a really like good job in my opinion. Like they really tried. Like Jad was like on top of trying to do like everything. You know, they had Ark Survival Evolved, unfortunately, which they were main focus, but like they did a lot for us. Like Jad especially. I
think so too. I mean, like they do so much work. I think one of the great things about them is that they're so open on Twitter, right? Is that they're so transparent, and they've kind of actually established like a standard for companies. You know, you kind of see the same thing with Poopy Queen and Battlegrounds. They're trying to do a similar thing along those lines, and I think that you can tell like that they're doing such a good job because other companies then are kind of trying to mimic what they do. Even though you get a lot of like eggs, like random like no picture like Twitter accounts being like, "Hey, why don't you fix server 381 from crashing?" And you're just like, "Come on, man, come on."
I mean that that's my Twitter, right? I think if you probably let me see maybe people posted in that like saying fix the game. Every time I tagged, or like for example, if Jad tagged me in something completely like nothing Ark related, a random guy would jump in. Yo, when are you gonna add it to Xbox? The servers are down. When are you gonna fix this? It's like nothing to do with the Twitter post all the time. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, it'll be like, hey, how's your family doing? And they're like, family. Speaking of family, my Dino family all disappeared overnight, and I can't get on my server.
Yeah.
And my little girl's crying right now, and it's like, whoa, calm down. Okay, so now we have the last one that I'd like to show, which is kind of a video, and by kind of I mean definitely a video. This is actually the first time I actually got to see what Birdman looks like, and I'm surprised that he's not already dead, and you're carrying him to get a drink, because that's what I hear the Birdman strat is that you die early and you get carried to a win.
Oh my goodness, I have the Coke or the Pepsi.
Now, do you always have trouble with vending machines like this, or?
The Pepsi.
The Chinese like the vending machines over there are pretty cool. Then it's just like I can't remember what happened there. I couldn't get it. I don't know what it was. But this is pretty much a video I made for Shrooms, because me and Shrooms have this thing like going back and forwards, like what's better, Pepsi or Coke? And I think he likes Coke and I like Pepsi. So I just made this video and I sent it to Shrooms. I think I tagged it to Shrooms, right? Yeah, I tagged it to Shrooms, and Batman was there with me, and I was like, what shall I pick, Pepsi or Coke? And, always Pepsi. Pepsi for life.
Pepsi for life. If you're listening, Pepsi, sponsorship.
Yeah.
Pepsi.
I mean, I think we tagged them once. I think Shrooms tagged Coke Esports or something, and I tagged Pepsi or something. We asked like a sponsor. I can't remember what Twitter, but I think we did once. Yeah.
My favorite thing is to kind of try to pit companies against each other. Like I'll show one, and then I'll be like one of the ones I did was I had Old Spice body wash, and they were like or Dove, and it was like macro or micro moisture. So I tweeted Old Spice. I was like, I'm more of a macro guy than a micro.
Mm-hmm.
If you make a product, I'll be yours. And like I try to kind of pit them against each other. I feel like you and Shrooms could get that going because you guys have more like you have more viewers and more people like paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm essentially just an idiot with a Twitter account. So all right, so we've gone through all that. Now the level 4 next part is community questions. These are unedited from people.
Mm-hmm.
We tweeted out earlier, and we were going to ask them. I talk with Stifler a lot. Well, not a lot, but sometimes when he's not salty. So obviously I don't have that much of a chance to talk to him because that's like 99% of the day. But the first one is from Legendary Kaimon, at Legendary Kaimon. He says, do you believe stream sniping was one of the biggest reasons why SOTF wasn't growing?
Yes and no. Like it was just a minor part of it. Like stream sniping, I don't think it was like the one of the biggest reasons. I think it was one of the smallest reasons. Like Arc, like the SOTF is really hard to get into as a new player, in my opinion. I feel that was the main reason getting into the game, because it was just really hard. Like it was really like a steep learning curve for new players. So whenever a new guy joined in, if he especially didn't have experience with Ark Survival Evolved, just to learn the basics in a game where if you run to the beach, a pro player, like a good player, will just kill you in instant seconds. Like a lot of those players never grew because of that, in my opinion. I think that was one of the main reasons. Stream sniping was a big part in like an issue, but with smurfing, like with teaming, those were like some few reasons why the game kind of went.
Yeah, I think it fits under all the broader umbrella of that.
Yeah.
Right?
I think stream sniping was actually the least, because I mean, you wanna, like, a lot of people like say you stream sniping, you should just put a delay, just don't stream even in a survival league. But streaming is part of like promoting, right? Like you're promoting the game, and if there's no streamers showing the game, then like some people don't get interested because of it. Like, oh, this looks a cool game. I want to jump into that because this guy's streaming it. But I feel like the devs didn't really help us that much. Personally, I feel like they should have been a bit more on top of things, but they were not, unfortunately.
I feel like I was a part of a startup. We made a few like app games, and one of the biggest things was getting people to like the tutorial, essentially the walking through people into it. I think that's a huge thing, especially with a game that is so intricate like SOTF, right? Because it's not just like a battle royale game, because there's an added layer of the PvE, which is super serious, and will murder you, as evidenced by my own stats on SOTF. Okay, so let's see. So speaking of SOTF, Stifler asked, what do you think the prospect of Battlegrounds as an esports is? And how do you feel? Is it Bluehole handling the whole esports thing versus how Wildcard handled the whole esports thing?
I see Battle Royale game mode becoming big, in my opinion. I feel like it's a really fun like game type that is like enjoyable to play and watch. Personally, I feel like it's a lot of fun. Like in SOTF as well, like it was a lot of fun to watch a battle royale type of game. I feel like it's a big future for this. I don't know if PUBG is gonna be that game. I don't know if maybe another title of like a bigger company will come in and try to do one. But I feel like there's a future in this, because it's crazy how fun it is to watch, and it's RNG involved. So the skill aspect of PUBG or Battle Royale is always going to be RNG, because if you have 100 players joining in one game, and if the best players fight each other, and then you're the third guy, in that fight, and then you clean up, there's a lot of RNG involved. So the skill aspect of that is not there, but the fun aspect is, like the pressure, and like anything can happen, anyone can win. I think a lot of people like that. I'd always say Battle Royale is the same as poker. I don't know if you know about poker, Texas.
Yeah.
It's the same as a tournament in poker. Like in a tournament in poker, if you put the best players in one game, like with just random people as well. Like the best players are not going to always win. Like it's anyone's game. Like luck is there involved. So like a random player can just randomly go in there and win. I see that as the same as poker. And poker is kind of like popular and stuff like that. So I see that as like a battle royale PUBG going as.
It also kind of makes it so that the pool of players that you can have will be larger, right? Yeah. Because where like CS:GO and stuff like that, and other first-person shooters that where like the actual like you get things down to a science, so you kind of like make the pool smaller and smaller. Mm. But the RNG allows you to have a bigger pool to like pick from to have like
which like is good and players. Bad. It's good and bad because it's good because you'll see maybe every tournament is a different winner and there's like more stories and stuff like that. But it's bad because it's always changing. Like the cool thing about CS:GO is like you have a certified best player, best team, best top 10. In battle royale, like it's not gonna be like that. Maybe they have to play like I don't know how they're gonna set it up, but like a lot of tournaments because over time the best teams are gonna win.
Right. The cream will rise to the
exactly.
The top.
Like the less games you have, the more luck there is. But over time it like balance out because the best players normally play out the worst situations better and take advantage of that. But yeah, I mean the same thing happened in SOTF. Like SOTF was the same, but to a lesser degree. I think there was more. Like if I compare PUBG to SOTF had more individual skill, less luck. I mean there was a lot of luck because it was just like a crazy ending at the end. But like, you know what I mean? Like if I fight a guy, if I run like in battlegrounds right now, if I run like to the middle of the circle and a random Bob, a new player can kill me easily. Like he's behind a tree camping, I run past him, he shoots and I die like instantly because he just like that. But in SOTF, if I go down to a beach and I have a bow and arrow and a random guy just like headshots me, a random Bob, like I can turn around and easily like kill them. The skill discrepancy was higher in my opinion between like the good and bad players. So
yeah, I agree. And the fact that you can craft the bows like early on is the big thing. You can't just like craft an automatic weapon like right away. So speaking of pug around at SOTF, so generally one of the questions I ask every guest is, how did it feel when you first killed Caddy? I mean, generally people find that it's not super super fulfilling because they kind of call her a Bob, and she's gonna kill me. But how did it feel when you first killed Caddy?
First killed Caddy? I don't think the only time I've killed Caddy was a team kill. I don't think I've ever killed her.
Is that because she wasn't fulfilling her duties on the team as team leader? You're like, she's holding the team back.
Pretty much. It was a Naughty versus Nice charity tournament, and they had to restart the game, and we were on the same side. Wait, did I team kill her? No. Wait, I'm talking about someone else. I'm talking about Strawberry. I team killed Strawberry. I didn't team kill Caddy. I don't think I've ever killed Caddy now.
No, I feel like that's natural. Everyone kills Strawberry.
Did I? I'm confused now between the both of them. Oops. I don't know. I team killed Strawberry in the charity tournament. That's for
they
sure.
all look alike to you? Is that what you're saying?
Resi killed
Caddy,
yeah. Resi
they all look alike to me.
Yeah.
They're just two boobs and long hair.
They're Bobs, yeah.
They're Bobs. I hope someone clips that. Okay, so another question from SOTF is Stifler says, how do you feel about directly being responsible for the flyer nerf in SOTF, as well as then you can link that to being responsible for the flyer nerf in ARC overall? You are essentially what everyone can direct their love of the flyer nerf or hatred to. Because I didn't see it, but I heard you used Pteranodons significantly in the first tournament.
I mean, it goes back to the Argentavis, actually. The Argentavis was the first buds that got nerfed because of Kuiper Pride. Back in Ark Survival Evolved, the main PvP you would find was the Argentavis grab and drop and stuff like that. That was the best dino. Well, Argentavis is not a dino, but the best dino in PvP, in my opinion, back then. So me and Resi played in normal Ark a lot, and Shrooms, and we were just so good at Argentavis grabbing and stuff. So when SOTF came out, and we started competing in tournaments, we used the Argentavis more or less the same we used it in Ark. We just grabbed the birds and fed it to a T-Rex. And this was back in a natural selection, or I think it was Last Stand was a tournament. With Kuiper Pride, the 6-man. It was Last Stand. And we used to, in one of the games in the qualifications, we used the birds really well. And back then they were not that strong. I mean, you could kill it with a shotgun pretty easily. With guns, you would be able to shoot them down.
Were you the one that in the twos game like tamed like 14 Argents in that one?
No, that was Toasts, I think.
That was Toast. I think that's where the Argent came. They took your strat way too far.
Yeah, and I mean, in the last stand was initial nuff. They nuffed like the HP or the damage they took because just how well we used it, but it wasn't really OP. Like we used, I feel like the Argent Tavis, the way they nuffed it was like one bird, like one Argent wasn't. I feel like one Argent was fine, like, but they nuffed the Argent so when you just tamed one, it became useless because how fast it died. But like if you tamed like for example when Toast in the 2-man he tamed like 14. When you have so many of them and the damage they were doing was ridiculous. But when they tried to nuff it, instead of nuffing like I feel like they should have nuffed how easy it is to tame 14 of them more than just they nuff like one individual, you know, and they don't really affect the big picture. I feel like.
I feel like you're right. That would have been better because then essentially it makes it so you don't use any of the flyers, right?
Yeah.
And
using one became useless. You know what I mean? And I hated that because I feel like the Argents using one, it was still you could counter it, and I feel like it was some skill in it, like grabbing people and taking them into a T-Rex and stuff like that. But I don't know. And the Pteranodon you said as well. I used that in the tournament just to fly above and stuff. I was just flying on the top of the platform, and no one was doing it.
That's what Stifler said, that you were just hanging out there having a cup of coffee.
Yeah, that was a fun, like, it was when the standalone came out, it was just like a fun tournament, and I didn't know what to do. I just tamed the Pteranodon. I was just like, just having fun and dropping down or shooting from up there with a pistol. Yeah.
Like with a parachute, and then whistling it to follow you, and then you get back on it when it would get stab. Yeah. I think I figured out that strat like a week before they nerfed like the Argent. I was super upset because I was like, yes, I'm pro now. Look what I can do. And then they're like, oh, I was like, fuck. Well, now, whatever. All right. So this question is from Belle. This is the last question we have. She asks, are you full yet from all the chicken dinners?
Not yet. I have a lot of people still to feed, you know?
Well, you got a big family or something?
Yeah.
I got many cousins, many extended family. What are you giving chicken dinners to like Rezi and Decky on the side?
Mm-hmm.
And then Decky's like, oh, well, I got Momo over here. Can you give me some extra chicken dinners for Momo? And so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Well, I could stand one. I have yet. I only got one in squads. And solo, I get like top 6, and then bam. I guess I suck.
Solos is harder, I would say.
Yeah. Well, for some people, right? Mm-hmm. Not for excellent players. Okay, so now we want to move on to like the final boss question. You got to be really introspective. We want something deep, like really give us an honest, like boiled like question or answer that we can really get into the deep layers of the onion that is Scoom. Okay. So what changes have you, and this is the final question, so make it something good, you know what I'm saying? We want to go out on a high note here. Yeah. Don't screw this up for me, Scoom. This is my thing, all right? What changes have you seen in yourself from when you first started streaming, and with how not only you stream and how you behave, but also how you play games? And what do you want to become better at, and what have you become better at since then?
Like, individually, like I said before, like as streaming, like I've become more confident in myself. I'm not shy anymore when I hit the start button to stream. Like I'm in the groove. Like I'm just used to this now. Like at the beginning I was shy and stuff like that. So I've improved individually in that. In terms of like gaming, I've grown a lot. I've matured, like especially since playing with like other guys, like and competing and stuff. Like be more communicative. Like I never really I'm not that guy that used to like short call or anything like that. I've never been I've never been like a guy that talks. I'm the quiet guy, just shoots and kills. That's how I've always been in the past. But since I got into streaming and playing with the other guys and talking, like I've become more communicative, I guess. In terms of like streaming, what I want to be better at, not getting. I mean, I'm. The thing is, I'm not a like salty guy. I feel like I don't get mad. Like there's other streamers that for example, Shrooms, who gets like salty pretty quickly, and it shows on his stream, right? Even but like I'm a type of guy that's like something bad happens or someone talks shit about me, like maybe in like the instant I might get mad, but I get over it really, really quickly. But I know lately I've been getting a bit more triggered. Like I've actually been I've become worse over time, more than better in that sense. Like I've been getting a little bit more triggered about things, like other people, other streamers. I get triggered a lot. Not gonna lie, I do. Like every day, it's becoming worse. And that's something I do want to get back to what I used to be. You know, like not give a crap about what other people are doing or what other people are saying. I don't know why that's an effect in me, to be honest, but it is.
Do you think that happens more when you're like super serious, Scoom?
I guess so. Yeah.
As opposed to like fun loving, let's put on a wig and someone pick a song for me to sing.
Yeah, for sure. Because when I'm like more serious and competing, I want to showcase my skill and be like for my viewers, like perform. You know what I mean? And then when I see, I don't know, I get triggered by other things, and yeah, I guess that's something, yeah, for sure to do with it.
Yeah, are you triggered by the fact that Shrooms has like this sweet beard? Do you have beard envy? Is that what I'm saying?
Not really. Not really. I had a beard like not so long ago that was almost as long as Shrooms, but then I shaved it completely.
Yeah, you were like, the student has become the master?
Yeah.
And then he took time off just to grow the beard and come back and be like, aha, F you. Look at my beard. Your beard sucks. Okay, so I guess we should wrap this up. There's a lot of questions they want me to ask, but I feel like we could be here for all day if I do. They're talking about peeing in a bottle, and is your headboard attached to the wall? Caddy, I think, has a little bit too much inside information for this.
You can ask away. It's fine.
Okay, yeah. So we have a few more minutes, I guess. So we're gonna is your headboard attached to the wall there? Is that
this
what
thing?
we're saying? Yeah.
It's I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, it's like it's a back, the headboard of the bed, and it's just it's like it's screwed to the wall. I don't know why, to be honest, but yeah.
Hey, I think it looks good, and obviously Caddy likes it. So okay, what is this? Tell us about the time you peed in a bottle.
Right. Yeah, that was in Shanghai, the tournament, the SOTF tournament.
While you peed in a bottle while playing?
Yes. Well, when we went to Shanghai, it was during summer. It was June, right? I think June or July, and it was really hot. By the way, Shanghai was the hottest place I've ever been in my life. I hate the heat. I don't know if you know me, but I always complain about the heat. I have air conditioner like always on and stuff like that. I can't stand the heat.
Yeah, you tweet about AC a lot.
Yeah. When we went to China during summer, it was like 40 degrees, but it felt like 50. When you look at I never knew this, but when you look at the weather, when you Googled it, like you Googled the Shanghai weather, it said 40 degrees, but then beside it was saying it feels like 50. I never seen that before. Normally it just says like 40 and 40. But
that's like I think like we do in America, like feels like. I don't know why we do feels like. Scientifically, we just, I don't know. It's humidity, I think.
Yeah, it was because the humid in Shanghai is crazy. So over there was really freaking hot. So I always drink water a lot. So obviously, since it was really hot, I was drinking water all day. And I tend to have a small bladder. Like when I'm streaming, I pee like 50 times during like an hour or something. So like
so they need to invent like a gaming chair that's also like a toilet.
I need a toilet gaming chair. I need to start that company myself. Make one.
We'll find one on Amazon for everyone. We'll put it on a wish list.
Yeah,
it's just gonna show up.
So yeah, it was free games. The SOTF tournament was free games, and I drank like 2 or 3 bottles of water. And the first game was fine. Like we played the first game, I needed to pee, so we had like a break in between each game. And during the first game, I went to pee. I had felt like peeing. I come back. The second game, as soon as the second game started, I needed to pee again. Instantly, I already peed, but I needed to pee again. And it was a 1-hour game of SOTF 4-man, and I needed to pee. I had that feeling to pee around the 50-minute going in. So it was still 50 minutes left of the game, and it just got worse and worse. And I think it was like half an hour into the game or something. And it was just, when you need to pee as guys, it's really painful. Yeah. And I needed to go pee, and we asked like the refs over there, like the guys, and like they said no. If you want to go pee, you will be quit from the game, and I don't want to let my team down.
Well, you can't just like go prone in a bush?
I mean, no, because all the screens, like we would be beside the other guy. If I would get up, I would see where people are, the main screen, it was like cheating. Like I would see where people would be, which I understand. Like it's completely understandable. Like, So what happened was like Decky was like, "What is he gonna do? He needs to pee." Decky's side of the story is pretty funny because how he's like talked to the guys like, "He needs to pee now. He needs to pee now. Like he needs to go." And it's like the guys one of said kind of like you can pee in a bottle and they just gave me a bottle and I was the one that was like.
That feels really fitting for like China. Out of all the stories you hear about people just like going to the bathroom like on the sidewalk or on the street or something, that feels like totally something that they would do.
Yeah, so I was like the closest to the stands where all the fans were like watching, like the viewers, like they would see me. They wouldn't see my teammates because it was like a box, but I was like the one first away. So I had to like stand up and kind of like unpee in the bottle, and they were like, I turned, but they probably knew what I was doing.
I would have made eye contact with other teams, like just stared them down while I was going, you know, just like intimidate the hell out of them, you know, channel your inner like Pedro, and
we ended up actually winning that game too.
Even while you're shaking, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So maybe you should do that every game, essentially.
I mean, I do pee every day, but I'm not in the bottle.
Well, tournaments, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe next Pub Battleground tournament, you should have a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you'll come in first.
And it was like, because I drank so much water, it was clear. It was a clear pee. And I left it on the desk after that. I don't know, maybe one of the China judges guys, water, and they drank it. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, I'm surprised like Decky wasn't like to the other teams and be like, "You guys look thirsty. Have some water." Team sportsmanship. All right, I think that's a good place to end on. It's been an hour. Normally we try to do a half an hour of the show, but obviously it's hard to just stick to a half an hour. I appreciate you stopping by and talking with me. I'm sure everyone else does as well. We get to learn a little bit about you. Will you be streaming today? I know that you said you're streaming every day till Gamescom. I read that.
Yeah, because I've been slacking, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. I've been not like dedicated, and like my schedule's been all over the place. I've been sleeping. I've just not been in the right mindset. So I want to push myself and like do this, like stream every day for like 100 days. So that's gonna start tomorrow. I'm gonna stream until like we go to Gamescom.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Gamescom in Germany, right?
Yeah, Cologne. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I will see you there.
Are you going?
I am. I'm going to early game bow hunt everyone at Gamescom. I'm buying like a Nerf bow and arrow, and I'm going to anyone who played SOTF, I'm going to find at the convention, and I am going to headshot them with an arrow. And then Tia's going to yell at me saying I shouldn't do that to people that I've never met in person. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you for that. We will see you tomorrow. Let's wrap it up. Jackal, thank you for producing. Caddy, sorry that we embarrassed you yet again, but it's like kind of like a tradition. Oh my God, you do drink a lot of water. Holy shit.
I get thirsty.
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll have Caddy on here if she's not too busy. She's kind of been shutting us down every time. So if you want to apply the pressure to Caddy, everyone, just so you know, peer pressure works. All right. So let's take it up. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks again. And we shall see you guys next week.
Peace.